Today I'm going to talk about the most important aspect of farmers. Believe it or not, it's looking after your allies. What's up, y'all? Billy from Perma Pastures Farm. Beautiful morning. I'll be coming out of this stuff later, but right now it is the day the Lord hath made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. So why would I say something so crazy like, looking after my allies with a humble bale of straw? Well, first of all, this straw is not sprayed. It's wheat straw. And these chickens, they're looking like they're going to get something, but chickens don't eat straw. So why on earth are they so excited? Why are they in there pecking around? Why are they doing the chickenness of the chicken? Well, I'm going to tell you why. It has everything to do with what's in this straw. And right now, we're going to be feeding a whole lot of allies, and we're going to show you from start to finish how that works. First of them being the chickens. So how can I get them to do something I need done, and at the same time, they benefit? Something of a mutualistic relationship. Well, like I said, there's seeds all in this stuff, and these guys are going to get every one of them out. Now, there is something of a consequence to this. These guys are going to basically, they're probably going to scatter, but I'll throw one over. Let's get you guys over there. We'll throw another flake over. Oops, sorry, chicken. And then we'll throw some more. They may not get to it right off. They just got fed. But chickens, when they see something like this, they're going to jump on this. They're going to scratch. They're going to spread it out. What else we got in here? Bare spots. A lot of them. This is one of those areas that's still in need of recovery. And so how do we do this? Let's walk inside and we'll go through a greater detail. It's this kind of stuff that makes me so in love with permaculture, because there isn't a single thing we do that has a singular purpose. Multiple things get done. Let me explain how. Now, I need this straw to be on our garden beds. The stuff we had up there already is pretty much being worked over by the microorganisms and is going away, so I need to add more. If I take this and I stick it right on there, the seeds in this straw are basically going to pop up there, and it's going to be something of a little bit of a nuisance. Well, why not employ this guy and these gals to go through all of this and get the work done for me? Now, they're going to take this pile and they're going to spread it out. Well, isn't that a problem because I'm going to have to collect it? No, it isn't a problem, because when they spread this out, it's going to be covering up some of these bare spots I got out here. So I'm going to go back, I'll rake it, put it in bags, and then I'll drop it where it needs to be, and it will be totally void of all of the seeds that are going to be something of a nuisance for me. So let's talk about the allies that we're feeding here. Obviously, the birds, they're our allies. They not only are eating all the seeds out of here, eating whatever bugs are going to be out here before too long. You're a friendly little bird. We're going to be, not only are they going to get fed, guess what else they're doing? They're going to spread this stuff out. When I collect it back, I'm not going to get it all. They're going to spread it out. I'm going to get what I need, and then the rest of it's going to stay here. So what am I feeding? I'm a micro farmer. That's really what I'm doing. You leave that soil bare and uncovered, I promise you, nature's going to come in and put something in its place, and you're almost certainly not going to like it. So these guys are getting fed. The soil out here is getting fed. And then here in a minute, I'm going to show you, once we give them about a day, maybe a little bit longer to work on this, because these guys are constantly moving. Once they get this worked on, I'll show you the next step in all this. But man, you got to love this. I mean, everything we do in permaculture, this is why there's no waste. This is why there shouldn't be any waste on any of our farms. And when we do things in accordance with how the good Lord set it up. So we're getting fed from their eggs. They're getting fed from these seeds. They're spreading out all this stuff for what we're going to do with it next. They worked on some of it, but they didn't work on all of it. I overfed them. Here's what I'm going to do, and this is the beauty and the options that you have. I still got it piled up here, and all I'm going to do, I got a bare spot, bare spot, bare spot. This is all I'm going to do in this area. It's not a big rush. I got plenty of straw. I'm just going to, and it's okay if it's big like this. Trust me, it's going to work its way into the soil, especially if that stuff hasn't been sprayed with any chemicals. Because what's happening, whenever you get that stuff that's sprayed, you're taking yourself two steps backwards. Sorry, it's a little bit cold. My lips are frozen. Whenever you put those let's say it's an anti-worm medication, okay? And let's say whatever you have is meant to fight those. Well, what's one of your top predators down in that soil? The worm. So we're not doing them any favors. So it's why it's better to go ahead and spend a few more bucks for this stuff right here than it is to go ahead and get that stuff off the shelf at Tractor Supply. So all I'm going to do in this area right here, because I just, that's the beauty of doing this work, is I can call an audible anytime I want. So in this particular area, it means more to me to feed the soil life, the bacteria, the fungi, the nematodes, protozoa, all that beneficial stuff that's down in there. It means more to me to get these guys squared away than it does to put this on my beds. So we'll go ahead and spread this out here, and then we'll give it another shot in another spot. Okay, what I'm standing on right now was option A. Right here where they're at now, I'm going to call that option B. So let's go over there and dump it in. They just got moved this morning, so the likelihood of them immediately jumping on it is pretty low. Yeah, we're just going to shake it out a little bit. Nothing fancy. Get the strings out of there, just kind of do one of these. They'll get over here, help themselves. And then we'll come back a little later and we'll talk about what we do with it. All right, another beautiful morning. It's the following day since we put all this stuff down. And they did a masterful job of spreading it out. Beautiful. So now this is where we come in. But before I get into that part, let's talk about zoning real quick, okay? If you can situate everything to the place where it's gonna go, it makes it even easier. We talk about zoning, I'm telling you, that's one of the biggest ways that you can make yourself very efficient or very inefficient. Here's what I'm getting at. You see all this straw right here, okay? Let's just pretend we used to have a little mini barn here. Let's say we had sheep in that barn. Let me add one more step to what could happen. You take your straw, you use it as bedding on your sheep. Then from the sheep, it graduates into the chickens. Then from the chickens, it goes right over here where you see it. You see how close we are? We're right next to that hide tunnel. We got raised beds on the outside of it. All that stuff is in very, very close proximity. So I can literally, if I wanted, I could pick this stuff up by the handfuls, and yes, there's poop on it, but that's the nature of this work. I could literally take this stuff up by the handfuls, put it right down on those raised beds, or stick it in the raised beds inside the hide tunnel. Okay, so now that we talked about that, let's talk about what I'm going to do. So literally, I am not even going to even attempt to get all of it up. I'm leaving some here. Remember, we're talking about our allies here. So I got a little bit of bare soil in this area, and underneath that bare soil, I got worms that in this sunlight are not even going to think about coming to the surface, if they're even there in a lot of places. When I leave some of this litter on the ground, the worms are saying, oh, snap, we got us a great environment that we can go under here now that it's cooler because worms can't stand heat. They're going to say, oh, my goodness, Billy did such a wonderful thing and left all this litter down there. Maybe not only the worms, but the bacteria, the fungi, the nematodes, protozoa, all those guys, instead of, if they're in the soil, they're deep. Now they're going to say, oh, snap, we can come up to the surface, get some work done up there. So all I'm going to do, just like we talked a little bit about the 12 permaculture principles in our last podcast, all we're doing is taking a little bit of what we need and we're leaving some back for nature. So right about there is all I'm going to take. Now, my next step is I can literally walk it by the handfuls over there, but it's just going to make easier transportation for me if I could put them in these bags. Okay, that's 13 steps, and I could be going to this bed. But here's what I'm noticing right here. I got this apple tree. This was an experiment that went bad. Well, it didn't go awful, but they did mess up my mulch ring. Okay, here's where I'm putting it. This is how we're going to go about it. Another audible. I'm putting it where it's needed because I'm observing and I'm interacting. So, once again, all the microbes underneath this tree are happy as a clam. Alrighty. Now, it's time. The chickens have been in this paddock. They move every single day. Now they're about to go from here down the hill. Here's the beautiful part about all this, is that I'm just going to repeat that process. You're probably thinking, well, that ain't enough to do anything. But think about it. Once again, this is not a war we win in. We don't win it in miles. We win it in inches. But the thing is, we mulch all year long. We're putting down carbon all year long. Well, why work by myself? Give it to your ruminants first as bedding, then to your chickens. Let them work it over. And then when it's all said and done, either leave it in place or just transport it to a place that really, really needs it. But check it out. I got a lot of straw that needs to be processed. And I'm just going to repeat this process every single day. So work with your allies, whether it's your cows, your sheep, your pigs, your chickens. Most importantly, the allies that are right underneath your feet. We don't give enough attention to that. And probably because we just don't see it. Hopefully this video was a blessing to you. If you need anything down below, go ahead and check it out. Promo code Perma on just about everything. And don't forget to check us out at the website. Till next time, this is Billy from Perma Pastures Farm, where permaculture is my passion. And right here is a big part of it. We'll see y'all next time.